see you have a very big social media presence and you engage a lot. The question is, when the French came to Africa, they had what they call in their colonial strategy was assimilation. That is, they assimilated people into their culture. Up to date, they are still spend people in that French Africa or French West Africa. They still have, I think some new generals, military people came and abolished some of those things. But everything was French, 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 French. Their language, their money, their everything. So, and then, of course, we that were colonized by the British, almost the same thing because they superimposed their whole of who they are, their dressing and everything on us. With social media, are we being assimilated into Western culture in a way that, is there a culture clash? Are you seeing it? Because you're on ground in Nigeria, you are seeing this, you are seeing everybody, young and old, every day. Especially, don't let me localize it to the young people. This program is for everybody. One thing is globalization, being globalized. But do you see, I'm going to culture right now, is there a risk that we are being sucked up our culture? Do we still look like ourselves, or we are looking like strangers already to ourselves with what we import and adopt from outside through social media?
All right, so this is what my belief is, and that is the fact that it is the agenda of the colonizer is beyond the peripheral, the artifacts of colonization. The artifact of colonization is I'm wearing a suit, you are wearing glasses, I'm wearing glasses, we're using the microphones and all of that. It's beyond all of that. It is the fact that our mental colonization is the greatest achievement of the colonizer. To the point where if we see things that are African, we call it voodoo. But if the same thing is done in America, we call it fashion. We call it, this is cool. All right. So we have demonized the ways of our fathers, the ways. I remember I lived for about 5 years in my village. If a mother has not seen her son for a while, there's a place they go to in the mountainside to say, Taye Lolu, it's been a long time. Taye Lolu will be back in 3 days. Wonderful. Be in that village for 3 days. That was artificial intelligence of our forefathers.
Wow.
If you put that in, if a mother, there are certain things that, that happen. I've seen people beaten by snake in my presence. And there was a man, he was a wine tapper. He was walking by and he said, what happened to this boy? What happened to this boy? The boy was in pain. Oh my God, it was a python had beaten him. And the man said, oh my God, the nearest leaf, he just went by, plucked a piece of, and ate it. I don't know what he said to it. He spat it on that spot. And the poison came out of the leg.
Wow.
If you said that in the presence of our people in Africa today, they will say it's voodoo. They will say it is evil. They will say, but then it is really unfortunate. I'm very grateful to God that I spent some time with my roots. I spent some time, we went hunting with dogs. We climbed trees. I saw women deliver in our village. The nearest hospital to our village is 2 hours. 2 hours. And I cannot remember anybody buried in that village of sickness or of snake bite or animal bite. People will cure themselves in the village by one leaf, one root or the other. Today, we are all going to hospital every day. The cancer world is about $200 billion. Do you think those guys want us to be fine? No, I don't think so.
Wow. Leke, you are killing it. You know what? You can see my vibes that, the thing is it was just sweeting me that we had, that's our own artificial intelligence. That's where you started from, and everything you have weaved into it. Because those days you will hear that off-hourly, that they put the person home, even if the person is in America. I was very, a little bit hesitant that, I don't know if you are still a pastor. I know you have that pastorate part of you apart from the music. So I didn't even know how to approach the issue of religion, because as I'm listening to you, we are on the same page. You are reflecting me. Because I have told people over and over, when you say this, just because of the new renaissance and the reawakening in religion, they will think you have gone to Isheshe. Just because you are acknowledging things you experienced. while you were growing up, knowing our culture for what it is. The moment you see you are standing the risk of being like, oh, maybe I was going to join this babalawo, maybe as if those ones are wrong, because there's nothing wrong with babalawo. So the way you have so maturely put it, it relieves me. Even that medical side, that healing side, that baby delivery side, the thing is sweeting me. You are entering me seriously. Because there are things I want to bring to the channel, but I'll be like, how am I going to discuss this thing? Because the first perception is that, tell us where your own Isheshe this thing is, which group you belong. Not because I'll be ashamed to do that, but I am not even involved. I don't have beret, I don't have incisions. I've not even finished praying to my Christian God, not to talk of now going traditional like that in that sense, but I cannot deny my essence. I think this will boost my morale to actually come out with content that I feel like I'll be in a safe space to discuss it if I can put it articulately like you have done. So I'm going to dwell on this domain a little bit. Because I didn't know, sometimes some people are so dogmatic, they are so fanatical. I'm an ordained pastor myself. You are an ordained pastor of many years, at least me like over 25 years, pastorate of about 30 years. You have been in pastorate even as much as the same time. Your father was a regional overseer of one of the big churches for the whole of West Africa here, the biggest brand in Nigeria and globally right now in Pentecostalism. Your dad was a multi-country overseer, and you are also a minister. So, but does that mean we have to deny, the realities that surround us? The religious space in Nigeria, are you concerned about where I don't want to brand it Pentecostal, where the brand of religion has taken us? Let me allow you to vent your opinion on that. Are you concerned, even though we are part of the system?
Yeah, again, let me say this for clarity. I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God, saved, sanctified. My father is a pastor in RCCG, and this I can never deny. Having said this, I must say this, that it is dishonor to our forefathers. It is dishonor to the spirit of Africa. It is dishonor to our roots to demonize the things that gave birth to us. There's a saying in Yoruba that the river that forgets its source will dry. There are people that fall sick, that they will say, okay, what exactly is the root? They will bring medical, they will look, they will scan, they will do blood. They will say, go and ask for his mother. And the mother will say, oh, I thought we would never. It is not. We call these things witchcraft. We call these things demons. We call this, say, I am your mother. And the mother will just say a word or two and the child will be healed. I think that is the root of our people. And I do not have any problem with that. Again, like you said, I do not have any babalawo. I do not bow my head to any stone, any water, anywhere. But there is an identity. This is a question of identity. We must not deny who we are. Our skin cannot be denied. Our root cannot be denied. Our origin cannot be denied. And there's a lot to this. For example, the principle of omoluabi is what I live by. I was going to put that in my introduction. I am an omoluabi. This has nothing to do with Ifa or Babala or whatever. Wherever I go, I cannot be naked online because I am an omoluabi. It's a philosophy of our fathers and our mothers. There are things, those days they put their wares, their fruits outside. If you pick the one you buy, you put the money there and you leave. You dare not steal what is not yours. These are the ethos, the ethics and the ways of our fathers. There is a political dimension to this. There's a medicinal dimension to this. There is a spiritual dimension to this. Let us not take it all and wrap it all up and say it is voodoo, it is witchcraft. No, it is who we are in our essence. Sometimes in our dream state, we visit these places, we visit these realities. Sometimes I will never forget it. I will never forget it. As a child, I was growing up as a child, and I was very sickly. I was very sickly, and there was an elderly. There was a night I was sick. I almost died that night. I am very convinced that I could have died that night. This man walked by. It was a man. He walked by in our area. He said, "What is happening?" I was gasping for breath, and he said, "Okay, what is the issue?" And they said, "Oh, he had malaria. He had something." He said, "Oh, is that why all of you are shouting?" And he brought me, he said, and he took me to a Akiton. He said, let's bring, the water was brought from our house. It's not like he brought the water from his house. He brought the water. He spoke a word. The headache was banging me. I was dying. I knew life was leaving me. He spoke a word into the water, and they used water to wash me. As we were washing it, I was like, the headache left completely. He spoke a word. He was not a believer. I was not a Christian. I don't know what word he said. But there are realities that the Oyinbo people are now coming back to come and find out. But I hope it is not too late, that we let Africa die and the spirit of our forefathers disappear.
Doctor, if only I wasn't the interviewer, I will give this video 1 million likes. I say the thing is just sweeting me. Because I don't know if it's just that when you put coalition and movement around things, it gets branded. But I hope we can get this message into the space. Is it that we are being, maybe it's me, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm an overcautious. I used to say that I am a careful person, but I'm not a fearful person. Because what you are saying, this is what I say every day. Oh my gosh. I thank God that I did not kind of give you, I didn't let you into what I'll be asking in the recess of it. You just said, okay, you are ready for anything. We are not leaving this spot. It's a sweet spot, and we have to mine the gold in it, because I will ask you, what will you say the acquired religion? I am still a Christian. I am a Christian. I don't know if I'll be anything else till I die, because we have come so far. The interesting thing I used to tell people, I can demystify the whole of Christianity with facts, because there are records, they can be seen, and you'll be seen as not having faith or being spiritual or being sanctified or being holy enough if you talk about real facts that are in the Bible itself. And Bible is not an isolated book. It is a book of records. Don't let me go too far by whether it is holy book or not holy book or the holiness of it. But we know that, anyway, what that religion has done to us, because we were who we were all along for donkey years. When you look at dinosaurs, you will now see, if Bible history starts from 6,000 years, there's also the pre-Bible creation, life and existence and all of those things. And some of these things, we just want to deny it, like what happened in the Garden of Eden and a lot of stuff that might look contradictory. But the fact is that Jesus is real. But the way that Jesus that was brought to us and sold to us was brought with a package. Because it's the same people that came to take away our essence, that took us away as slaves, that replaced our religion with their own, and told us how to behave and who to be. And it is their standards, whatever, that we are living by. It's so complex that we have a lost identity. Now, what would you say the religion of the invaders, even though we are Christians, have done to us? Because when you look at Islamic people, development and religion, they are just like Siamese twins. From which angle will you look at it when you look at what religion, how it has so damaged us? And in every sphere and fabric of our cultural, political, social, and every life of us, we are so religionized that we cannot find ourselves as long as this prevalence of religious mentality exists. What's your opinion on that, the damage of religion and where we are today?
I have 3 angles to this question, and I'll start from Africanism and Africa. I think it is wrong from the perspective to narrow that concept to just one area. I think it should be taken in its entirety. Number one, the food of our fathers, the shakpa, the asaro, the eforiro, those things are dying. We should bring them back. The culture, the dressing. Where is the asari? Where is the kembe? Where is the etu? Bring back those clothes, because we're going to see those things on the fashion runway in France one day, that we'll be paying billions of dollars to buy what our fathers own. Let us bring back Irundidi. Let us bring back all of those things. So I'm not saying we should bring back Eyowo. We've gone beyond all of that. All right. But then let's go back to some of this thing. The culture of our people, the Africanism is a complete package. Let us not take only one part of it and say it is evil and flush it down the toilet. That's number one. Number two, religion came as a capsule inside the principle of capitalism. Servants obey your masters, and they just basically just took everybody. The truth of the matter is it was business at that time that they used a lot of things to package to us. That is what I mean by, that was why I agreed on the issue of packaging. And that brings me to where my mind is. I have a problem with over-religiosity, either as Muslims or as Christians or whatever. The essence of man, and if you are going by the Garden of Eden and what God said, man was created into the garden, not just to worship, but also to till the garden. I do not want to see us building cathedrals. I want us to build factories.
God.
Why can't we have a camp of 500, 1,000 people with machines who are producing clothes for Africa? Why are we importing all of these things? Why? That is what I want to see. I want to see our religion of productivity, not Monday. There's a church near my house. There's a program on Monday, on Tuesday, Wednesday. And I'm like, look, these people are going to be beggars. You can't do a night vigil on Friday, then a program on Saturday, then there's a church service on Sunday, then there's another church service on a Monday. Something is wrong with that. I do not believe in that religion. I think we should pray, but we must work. And our people, because again, this is what is fueling people. Everybody's hearing the call. Everybody's hearing the call. My father had the call, and that is why I do not want to go. There's a certain level of ministry. I'm doing ministry more than some pastors. I do not want positional authority. I do not want ordination where, okay, give. No. I've been doing some things before. Some pastors were still drinking in the world. I've been doing ministry things. So the point there is not give me color. The point there is we have work to do. And that work of the church is to develop Africa and bring prosperity. We are going to 1-something billion people. And Africa is the poorest continent in the world. And we are the most prayerful. Something is wrong with that. And then for Muslims in this part of the world, look at the Saudi Arabias and the Qatars of this, the Qatars of this world, and the Dubais of this world. You don't see them carrying their lawani and all of that. They are producing medical transformations. They are trying to develop something for space. They are doing something in the medicine. They are making rain to come. And we are all just doing religion for religion's sake. No, if our religion does not lead us to productivity, let us flush it down the drain. No matter what we call it. I think productivity is the essence of man.
Oh my God.
And then to worship your maker.
Like that radical revolutionist said, he said religion is the opium of the masses. Another person said the reason why the poor have not eaten the rich for breakfast is because of religion. And I love the part when you said religion was the capsule that they used to douse us, when they infused it into capitalism. I don't understand why we so aligned in our thoughts, even though we don't get to talk all the time. We just even reconnected most recently, very, very recently, less than a year to this time, after so many years of disconnection. So it's not as if we have a place where we are aligning on these things, but I hope as many people as have this orientation will also be able to communicate it, because communicating this particular understanding matters, so that we are not ashamed of ourselves and who we are. There is good part to every culture, there are bad parts, and then culture is very dynamic, and we can take the good part of other people's things, but not to throw away our own. If I tell you what I know about African mysticism that I witnessed as a child, people will be like, I'm exaggerating. But anyway, let me just also say, the religion in the Nigerian space, for example, right now, you have really dwelled on that point a little bit. What about the